winter, and now trying to get into the blind. And that's about.
But a knock up, there's no escape, has to force out the flash, the stride, BT.
We'll take that search and destroy firing range.
Here I found myself, in this strange yet fascinating part of Zon. Young Echo had built something beyond my imagination.
It's not enough to give people what they need to survive. You have to give them what they need to live.
Perhaps this new perspective is just what I needed to put the spring back in my scientific step. And how better to prove that than with a little creation of my own? I possessed all the necessary terms to this equation, but somehow the correct solution continued to elude me, like a slippery grumble slug. Maybe the key to young Echo's formula was a bit of the accustomed, multiplied with a dash of the unexpected. Oh, golly! Perhaps that was too much of the unexpected. Gadzooks! My focus had been misplaced all along. The essence of life is not determined by what we need at all, but by what we want, of course.
So... not bad. I like your style, Professor.
Versus winter, and now trying to get into the blind. And that's about.
But a knock up, there's no escape, has to force out the flash, the stride, BT.
we'll take that search and destroy firing range.
Here I found myself, in this strange and fascinating part of Zon. Young Echo had built something beyond my imagination.
It's not enough to give people what they need to survive. You have to give them what they need to live.
Perhaps this new perspective is just what I needed to put the spring back in my scientific step. And how better to prove that than with a little creation of my own? I possessed all the necessary terms to this equation, but somehow the correct solution continued to elude me, like a slippery grumble slug. Maybe the key to young Echo's formula was a bit of the accustomed, multiplied with a dash of the unexpected. Oh, golly! Perhaps that was too much of the unexpected. Gadzooks! My focus had been misplaced all along. The essence of life is not determined by what we need at all, but by what we want, of course.
Not bad. I like your style, Professor.
Versus Winter, and now trying to get into the plan. And that's about.
But a knock up. There's no escape past the force out the flash. Let's try.
Hey, we'll take that search and destroy firing range.
And good evening, everybody. And here we are tonight at Project 160 Break the Riff that is held at CLX Productions. And of course, for your casters, I'm Zion, and I'm here with Mr. Holiday. And tonight, we're gonna see some very, very good matches. First day of the tournament, and it's gonna be very exciting. And I'm excited because the teams here tonight are something that you guys wanna watch. And of course, cheer on. And of course, Holiday, how are we doing there? And how are you tonight?
Yep. Thank you, Zion, for introducing me. And hello, everyone. I'm Marcelo Holiday. I'm from Indonesia. So thank you for having me in this tournament, especially in this event from Project 160 Breakthrough from CLX Production. And tonight we are gonna having 4 teams that gonna be trying get their points into the semi-final. And from the bracketing in here, we can see about how the team have been played. There are 12 teams actually from the first tournament, and in here we have already 8 teams that gonna be trying to going for the summit in here. They are trying to get the crown in here from CLX Production, and here EXXVR and Salpukan Sa Ekups or
That would
SSE in
be
here.
SSE. Yes,
Yeah, and
SSE.
SSE, I mean. And for the second match for today, there is High Sky Reward and German Cut. What do you think the 4 team that's gonna play in here, Zion?
Okay, for the round one, IIX versus SSE, I've seen this matchup many, many times from many various tournaments all around here in the Wildrift community. And of course, for now, I'm very excited to see how IIX would play this out again versus SSE. And of course, we have Skyward versus German Cut. And that's also something that you guys don't want to miss because I'm smelling something very good here, basing on the players from the plays. And this is my first time actually seeing German Cut in a tournament in this setting. So we're gonna see a lot tonight. And of course, I want to focus first on IIX and SSE.
Yeah.
These 2 teams have been battling it out a lot, but of course, SSE always remains the champion, or at least the winner between their matchup. But hopefully tonight, IIX might actually get that win, or at least win against them and move on to the next round. And of course, Holiday, I'm excited. What do you think?
Yeah, as what you saying in here, EXS and SSE gonna playing in the first round. This is gonna be a big match because as Zion said, SSE is one of the strongest team in here. And meanwhile in here, IIX is gonna be the black horse. They try to win against SSE to throw the SSE back into loser bracket, but in here we could see how strong the statistic from SSE, even though IXX in here also quite have good tournament result or the statistic in here, Zion.
Okay, let's hear the statistics tonight. And you guys can see here the lineup for SSE. We have Enzo, we have Nimeria, we have Zaza, and we have Sasa. They're just mixing it up. And of course, we have it Disaster here on our SSE. And we can see here the most played champions during the playoffs would be Aatrox, Echo, Fiora, Ezreal, and Singe. These are very interesting picks, more on focusing on the team fights. It's more of an all-rounder match making thing, or rather a lineup rather. And of course here for IIX we have Karma, V13, S14 is so fun, Sabarang, and if I'm correct, that's Manonix. And of course, we can see here the most played champions would be Nar, Jax, Saya, Yumi, and Vladimir, which is very, very interesting. And of course, with the new patch being out, we can see here that Karma is already utilizing the Nord jungle. And hopefully, we might see it here tonight. here in our first round of the match. And of course, I'm very, very excited. We're gonna see some very, very good matches tonight. And of course, we're gonna see who will stand out tonight. And that's honestly something that I would expect. And here we can see in the team spotlight holiday, we can see here, if I'm correct, would be SSE in their boot camp, preparing, and looks like they're just chill. They're very chill. They're
Yeah,
very,
they
very
are very
chill.
chill. They are very chill against the IIS. We could see they are. I think they are playing social media to inform their fans in Philippines out there to watch them in CLX production tournament to watch their victory against IXXWAR. Meanwhile, IXXWAR, we could see their face. They have some nerve in their body in here. They are just laughing.
Yes.
They could thinking straight right now because they are facing SSE now.
Yes, and actually, we can see here the team spotlight for IX. We have Karma as well here. Hey, Karma, what's up, man? And of course, we can see here that they're gonna play against SSE tonight. And Holiday, what do you think? What do you think if? What do you think? I mean, rather, who will win tonight, and who's your bet?
Ah,
I,
I don't know. I could say maybe SSE because we could see about from the statistic about the champion. We could see about their statistic and for damage dealt and anything about that. I think they have quite good, solid team composition rather than IXXX. But in here, Karma using NAR, I really want to see how Karma gonna utilize the NAR in the tournament. Is it gonna be really, really annoying for the SSE to close the game and give the win into the IIX now to the
For me, I would go for IX, with the re-roster that happened, because those are new names for me, and hopefully they can actually manage to go against SSE much more this time, because the last time it kind of didn't go well. But I'm betting my stakes tonight on IIX, not SSE. On IIX. I want to see IIX win. I want to see that smile on Karma's face and say, let's go, we won. And I'm very, very excited tonight. And we can see here that these teams are preparing. They're very prepared, and hopefully they can give us a good match for tonight. But also, I want to mention someone, a sponsor. That just want to say hi, and this is coming from someone that's very, very known. If I'm correct, I'm not sure if it's known to the community, but the message goes from hello from Messenger Cat from UAPH. And there we have it, the secret sponsor for tonight's tournament. And hopefully, thank you, Mr. Messenger Cat from UAPH for the sponsor here. And Mr. Holiday, I'm excited. I want to see how Karma will play that Nor in the jungle. That's something that I rarely see in my ranked games because I've been losing a lot. And what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah. From what the statistic what have just shown and from my analysis in here we could see actually the real problem for IIX is the mid and the ADC from SSE in here because I don't know how to call the ADC SZ have the fourth on the leaderboard kill, so it's quite high actually. There, he is on top 5 kill in the leaderboard, and meanwhile for the mid is on the second one. Meanwhile, and on the other side, Nymeria is on the third. So actually, most of the team in here on top 5 leaderboard for kills. So this is gonna be really, really hard work for IX to win the game versus SSE. Meanwhile, on the IX in here, we could see that Manonix is the first actually on the kills in here. Just he is alone, but on the other hand in here, Sabarang, we could see on the Hangul name,
Korean.
is
Yeah,
on the
Korean.
5th kill on the leaderboard one. So I think they really have to think about approaching the mid and the ADC as the main threat for IAX in here.
Yeah, and knowing SSE for their action, for their very creative picks in the tournaments, we're gonna see much more different metas that they're gonna use in this tournament, and maybe IAX might be able to actually catch up, or at least manage to use that creativity of SSE to their own demise, or basically make it their own weakness for SSE, and we honestly don't know. And I've been watching these tournaments for a while. I've been not supervising, but rather observing their gameplays. I can say that these teams are just strong, and all I can say that they're very, very strong. And it's just, it all comes down to the team chemistry, to the team composition, to the matchup, to the laning phase, and of course on how you would coordinate your team well in very, very rough situations. And honestly, these teams have managed to show it off in the recent tournaments that we have here in the Wild Rift community. And I'm excited. We're just currently waiting, but I feel like there's going to be a big bang of a tournament here. And of course, you can see here on our screen we have the best of three for tonight. First round would be SSE versus IIX, or rather IIX versus SSE. And of course, for the second round, or later on, we have Skyward versus German Cut, which also will be best of three. In this next match, I'm not that familiar yet with Skyward and German Cut, but I've got some, I guess, some researching. I've done some researching. I guess there's some few people there that that have been participating in tournaments too, but who knows if they'll be there.
Yep. Especially they are advancing into top 8 is actually quite good achievement now for High Sky Reward and German Card. But what do you think about the first match between IAX and SSE? What's gonna be the score in here, Zion? Is it gonna be 2-0 for SSE, or 2-0 for IAX, or 2-1? What do you think?
Okay, I don't want to be biased, but I have a feeling that 2 SSE, 1 IIX. At least.
1 IIX, okay. At least IIX having some effort in here, trying to make the game not 2-0, but they are pushing it to game 3.
Yes, that's totally true. But here we are now live, and of course we are now starting our draft phase for the first round of the match of SSE versus IAX. And of course they have banned the Vi. SSE will be respectfully banning the Vi, and I'm guessing this Vi ban is targeted onto Karma. And we're just currently waiting next year. And of course they have banned Ambessa. For Numeria. I've seen Numeria use Ambessa multiple times in a tournament, and honestly, it's just scary to see. And there we have it. Holiday. They have banned Nor, not taking any chances for any of the IAX to actually use them. And we're gonna see here on the next ban of IAX on which champion will they be canceling out on SSE. And honestly, the lineup here, it's something more on denying peel-offs.
In here, they are already respect ban for the IIX for the NAR from the Karma, but we could see there are couple champions that quite broken, and we see in here what I say.
That's Gragas.
The Gragas, Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot for a moment. But we see Akali for the third ban from the SSE in here, and last ban for the first phase between the two teams and giving to IX, and the SSE gonna be taking their first pick in here, still hovering for the last ban, I think.
I guess there's no
ban.
side of IX. and that would be something. No, no ban. Yeah.
Oh, no, Ben.
No, that's actually surprising. Is this something? Is this something IX saying to SSE that we're giving you an advantage because they know that they're gonna win tonight? And this is actually something that I want to see and how they're gonna pull it off. And of course, for the first pick of the game, and we're gonna see SSE will be hovering or rather locking in a Nautilus. And honestly, the meta revolves. It would be enchanter meta, it would be tank. And most of the time I see here in tournaments, you're just gonna be picking tanks to actually have that front line, have that CC, AoE, and anything that they can do to actually lock down a champion. Here we can see that on the side of IAX, they will be picking Rumble and a Corki. And knowing, heads up, Corki had a buff, had a huge major buff, and as well as a rework. So we're gonna see on how they're gonna play it off against SSE.
Yep, I'm really thinking about this Corki actually because Corki have just recently buffed, but as you said, I want to go back into the Nautilus that really, we could see in here, Ezreal, one of the most played champion used by, the ADC from the SSE, and here has been picked, have one of the most comfortable. I think this is gonna be really, really hard for the Corki, at least to getting out from the laning phase into mid, and now one of the strongest Baron with 1.14 pick rate Aatrox have been secured by SSE. What do you think this is gonna be?
I see this more of something more than an all-in and a disengage. We can see here that the Nautilus has every kit that he needs for an all-in and an engage, as well as the Ezreal giving that poke, and of course he can engage with the teleport and maybe back off with the teleport as well. And here we can see that the Aatrox might actually just be, really good at zoning and giving that pressure in team fights, and as well as having that impact, that we can say that a fed Aatrox is something that you don't want to mess with, especially in the late game. And here in the IEX, they have finally picked, and they will be locking in our Maokai, and I'm guessing this would be a support Maokai. And Holiday, I want to focus here on IEX first, because we've seen that SSE is more on focusing on team fights and more on CC. Here you can see here that on IAX, they have more on pokes and more on sustained damage, especially with the way that Rumble works. The team fight credibility that he can do, especially with the ultimate that he has. Once he drops it down on a perfectly good spot, that's really good enough to apply enough damage for the team. And here we are here on the final phase on the bans. And Holiday, what do you think of the banning phases here from the both teams?
Yep, for Jax, I think this is a quite good ban because actually one of the player in SSE is quite good player for Jax, we know, and I think Raven for here, I think that's not quite wise, even though jungle haven't been picked in here for the IIX because Raven in this matchup is not really good, especially if they have Nautilus, they have Aatrox, but I think they have another thoughts about the team composition in here for the IIX. Meanwhile, I will back into the team comp for IIX. IIX really won't have sustainability quite long fight, even though I will say the longer fight is going on, SSE gonna be better because they have Aatrox, they have Ezreal, and now they have Echo as their jungle, or their mid could be in here, Zion.
I'm having a guess that this would be a jungle Echo, and of course the mid lane would be passed on for our Jace here. And this is something that's just really, really nice, because at some time they lack SSC kind of lacks poke. Not just Ezreal being the only one to poke, but now they have managed to balance it with a Jace pick, and this is very smart move from SSE. And of course, here I want to talk about the bans of SSE. They have banned Olaf because of the anti-CC and the amount of sustain that he can do in a team fight. And of course, they have. I'm guessing here. It's just a guess, everyone, that they have banned Riven because for Karma, because Karma uses Riven a lot in the jungle, and I'm pretty sure they know how scary Karma is, or at least good. That Karma is good with his Riven, and of course, here they have finally picked. They have finished our drafting phase here, and they've finalized their picking, and here we can see that our ADC, but rather, ADC would be going as a severe, and the mid lane would be passed on to Corki, and I'm excited. What do you think of the composition here, Holiday?
Yep. Because Corki, because we see SSE is playing Jace. I think it's wise to give the Corki into the mid lane. Because why? Because the Corki in here have quite long range, and can be poking the Jace constantly in the mid lane rather than using the Corki in the ADC lane. So for the Sivir in here, they are really need quite high DPS, especially against this team come from the SSE. We see Nautilus, we see Atrox, we see Jace, and one more, there is Echo. This is really quite strong frontliner for the Ezreal, and they have to really know, I think the answer for giving damage into backline into the Ezreal is the ricochet from the Sivir in here.
Yes, I totally agree with you with the DPS that IAX can actually pull off here in a team fight, knowing that SSE kind of lacks DPS, but rather more on a burst type composition. The way that Nautilus might be able to actually catch one, and of course with the follow up, the Ezreal or maybe the Jace or maybe the Echo, at least would be enough to actually kill one of the members of IAX here, despite knowing that Corki and Severe are very squishy, especially in the late game. We have the threats of Jace and Echo, and that's very some dangerous for them, especially if SSE managed to get a snowball against them.
Yep. And for you, everyone that's watching, don't forget to subscribe into CLX Production on the YouTube, and give a follow into Facebook for CLX Production, because we are gonna bring you more exciting tournament. In this month we have Wild Rift, for next month we have other tournament, and 2 months, so this is gonna be the Project 160 is gonna be a big event. It's gonna be happening in every month with different games, so make sure to follow and subscribe for the CLX Production in here zone. And we already hear about people already summoned into Rift Summoner. What do you think this is gonna be happen in here zone?
Game number 1, IAX versus SSE, and I am excited. You can see here in the map that there's just a chicken face, and here we can see that Nautilus in a very good spot on warding the blue side, or rather the blue buff of IAX will be much more aggressive here, giving that a good trade, and you can see that Disaster looking for an opportunity to get an invade, and Jace hovering there in the mid lane, and Aqua actually doing a response, and here we can see that Severe doing damage for our Ezreal. Corki going in with an early flash as well, and Corki may be able to get our Ezreal in first blood, and of course Jace will be killing the Viego, and of course our Jace will be down by the Severe, and Disaster running away from the disaster that's about to happen to him. And will our Severe manage to kill him? Yes. And
yes,
early fights early fights in the early minutes of the first game. This is what I mean. But you know, that's actually a really good response from IX. You know, we can see here that Aatrox is doing a lot of damage against Rumble, and that was a very bad trade for our Rumble team. And finally, what do you think for the first few minutes of the game that happened?
Yes, I would say this is a really chaos first game, and just a few minutes, less than 2 minutes, I would say. And I think that's really good work. And now Aatrox is positioned in dangerous position. Flash has been committed by Aatrox, but he could escape from the gang, from the Karma. And